Oh yeah, that's the stuff you are absolutely serving, Queen.
Hi, Tali. Oh, hi, xal'atath. What's going on? Tali, are you taking xal'atath's picture?
Yeah, we're doing a void calendar shoot to show the world that Zal isn't some kind of enemy or baddie, and that actually she's just a normal, down-to-earth, dead elf inhabiting, corrupting mass murderer like any of us. But like, more attractive than any of us, obviously.
Obviously.
Also, it's for charity!
Oh, wow, that's awesome. What's the charity?
Friends of Corrupting the World Soul.
Friends of Corrupting the World Soul, yeah.
Oh, hey, Zal, you look great on camera.
Yeah, I know, seriously. Okay, Zal, we've done Evilly Smirking for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Should we try another facial expression for October?
Sure.
Okay, so that's kind of evilly smirking again, but it's great.
So great.
Should we try happy because the old gods won for November?
Like this.
Tali, that's just evilly smirking again.
Yeah, I know she's been doing that all day. What about December? What shall we...
Evilly smirking.
Yeah, she's just doing the evil smirk again. Please, Zal, you're perfect, obviously, but please, can you just give me something totally different?
How about this?
Wow.
I mean, that is very different.
Is that a spoiler?
People are going to be so angry at us.
Knowledge is power.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly reset, Taliesin and Evitel's wondrous wisdom show. In a week where we are talking The War Within, release date, cinematics, warbands, new mounts, new gear, new deals, and all sorts. It's been a big week. All to come, but also Mists of Pandaria remix and its new massive bronze buff, Time Runner's Mastery, a 100% bronze increase from the caches that you receive from dungeons, scenarios, and raid dailies, and normal and above raid bosses. A 100% increase in the power gained from thread spools for your cloak, and a 100% increase in Emperor Shao How rep, which is, shit, I don't know what Emperor Shao How rep is, sorry. Oh, it's a rep that you need to max out by killing a very specific mob, and then you can get a mount that isn't on the Remix Infinite Dragonflight vendors. I mean, imagine being a mount that isn't on the remix vendors. Couldn't be me, but these buffs are obviously insanely good. They obviously are not the last buffs that we'll see to bronze acquisition, but it now means that you can log in, do your dailies or a heroic Heart of Fear and Throne of Thunder run, and come away with well over 40,000 bronze in about an hour. Since Time Runner's Mastery was implemented, without any announcement or fanfare from Blizz, I've been frankly not even trying particularly hard, but I've maxed out all my gear to hit the 476 item level cap. I've bought all of the available class-specific trading post recolors. I've bought all of the mythic armor sets, all of the goats, because honestly that's the only reason I was even playing Remix in the first place. And after 12 years and 1,000 Garrosh kills, finally I have the Tusks of Manoroth. And do I care that they're basically the diet tusks because I got them off a vendor rather than have them dropped from the raid on my 1,001st kill? Do I Would my Orc Warrior look any cooler if these tusks had dropped rather than come off a vendor? The answer is no, obviously, because there is no way he could possibly look any cooler. Look at this motherfucker. I'm just relieved I never have to set foot in Siege of Orgrimmar ever again, in the normal game or in Remix. For the remaining 60 days of the event, I can log on super casually when I feel like it, earn and spend my daily 40,000 bronze as I feel like, and concentrate on the really important stuff, like the War Within. That's right, we're going to talk about the War Within now. First, the release date. It has been revealed, and it's probably a little bit earlier than many of us were expecting. August the 23rd, worldwide, and I know it says August the 26th on the graphic, but that's not actually true, is it? That's actually a complete lie. The game launches on August the 23rd, when early access starts for players who have pre-purchased the expansion. And I don't care what Blizzard says, if that is when the game is considered to be ready and open to the people that have bought the game at that point, then that's the release date of the game. You are not paying to play The War Within early, you are paying not to play it late. But whatever, the point is, it's an early release date, and the community, as you can imagine, was thrilled about that, especially on the forums. Because who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be glad to get more content quicker, too soon? Huge mess inc. This is going to be the most rushed X-Pack ever. What the fish? Oh, wait, no, sorry, because not only that, but Blizz launched the Welcome to Azeroth bundle aimed at new and returning players too, which gives you access to Dragonflight, 2 months of game time, and a level 60 boost. Perfect for leveling through Dragonflight in preparation for the new expansion, which honestly is a bargain for any players, seeing as in most regions it actually costs less than 60 days of game time that you get with it. Another thing the forums were overjoyed about. This and the early release date. It was like Christmas on those boards. Christmas, if Christmas was a shit show, obviously. Brother, you take the piss. This is basically a scam. I can see that Blizzard want to kill WoW this time. One final beta attempt. 2 pre-sales must be pretty low, I guess. This is a trap. Do not fall for it, gamers. Why is it a trap? It's giga worth even for only 60 days game time. Yeah, but then you gotta play WoW. Which, you know, fair enough, actually. I can't really argue with that one. But is it too early? Like, will the game be finished? To some degree, it doesn't really matter. Like, people are going to call it a buggy, broken mess when it releases. Whatever. That's just what we do now. Like when everyone called Dragonflight a buggy, broken mess because the boat to the Dragon Isles didn't work when literally everyone on the server tried to get on it, when otherwise it was fine. Good even. I will say that from my own experience on the latest beta build, parts of the map are still feeling a little bit empty in terms of mobs or quests. And that's not necessarily bad. In principle, I think one of the great things that Dragonflight brought back into WoW was that use of negative space, not feeling the need to pack every single inch of the game world with stuff like they started doing in Warlords. Empty space can really help make a game world feel real and immersive, but a lot of the empty areas on the Isle of Dawn and its underground zones feel like maybe they aren't supposed to be so empty. Like the Harronir camp in Azkahet. There's a couple of story quests that happen there at max level with the Arathi, but the Harronir themselves are kind of nowhere to be seen in the War Within right now. Beyond that, an early interaction with Orwena and a random dude standing outside a cave network, which is weird, isn't it? Because they are now officially a selling point of this expansion, featuring alongside xal'atath, the Earthen, and Arathi character Feyrin in the latest cinematic trailer for the game. Look, all of the new playable races are in this clip, but the Harronir haven't quite made it to the game yet, and that's a bit weird, right? I mean, perhaps they are saving them for a future patch, and perhaps they're supposed to be enigmatic right now in their complete absence from the zone. There is a max level story campaign chapter that we can't test yet and probably won't be able to test on the beta, so maybe they're featured more heavily in that. But that chapter is called A Light in the Dark, which suggests that it will be more focused on, if anyone, the Arathi, since they are all about light and keeping the lanterns lit and keeping the darkness out and all that. It is currently a mystery, and I like mysteries. But to get back on topic, yeah, I see no reason why the game won't be finished in time for its intended release date. Mythic Plus and Raid testing has been happening all week. More on that in some other video. It does feel like we're very much in the latter part of the testing cycle right now. And now we have that release date, we can start to get excited about all of the things that we know are due to come before the 23rd of August. Like, there's going to be a new cinematic of some sort, right? Whether it's part of a pre-patch launch trailer or just a cool hype sizzle thing, we're going to be getting some more xal'atath being smirky and evil and Alleria being all worried and StarCrafty before the War Within goes live, for sure. There's what are known as the 2.5D animations to come too. Those shorts that started back in the build-up to Mists of Pandaria and have been a huge part of the lead-in to every new expansion since, hitting a high, in my opinion, for BFA with Daughter of the Sea and the Sylvanas and Ashara Warbringers. We know we're getting more of those, and we know from in-beta scrolling text that one of them will tell the story of Queen Ansarek and how she became Queen of the Nerubians of Azkahet. My guess is that we'll get similar background stories for Feyrin, maybe Orwena, and xal'atath? Perhaps? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because Blizz probably want to keep her actual physical form a secret for a big reveal later on, but I think it could be really cool to use one of these 2.5D cinematics to give us a glimpse on what she got up to in the Black Empire Empire. What she did to piss off all the old gods end up in a dagger for millions of years. There will definitely be more short stories released. Seems like Blizzard are planning on putting all of them from the upcoming Voices Within collection. Bar a couple of exceptions up on Battle.net for people to read for free, I think the next one should be Thrall, having some proper heartbreaking father-son time with Dirac. And I don't think this will happen, but I would absolutely love some narrated audio drama stories too, like we got in Legion. Those were sick. And comics! We haven't had comics for a while, and the ones we got in the lead into Legion and BFA were awesome. I loved those. Rip the comics and the audio dramas, always in our heart. What we definitely do have coming though is the new Chronicle Volume 4, the timing of which is very interesting indeed, being a month before the launch of The War Within. Because don't forget that Chronicle Volume 1 came out in the build-up to Legion, and actually, retconned is the wrong word, recontextualized a lot of the game's lore in preparation for that expansion. It was in Chronicle 1 that Azeroth was revealed to be a world soul, and which gave us the Cosmos map and repositioned the Void as the actual big bads of the mythos, above Sargeras and the Burning Legion, actually making Sargeras' fear of the Void be the thing that made him heel turn. It was huge, and if Volume 4 takes the opportunity to reconfigure stuff in a similar fashion, there are going to be some seismic shifts in the landscape of the lore coming, and you need to be ready, okay? Get your supplies, get in the bunker, shit's about to get real on WoW Twitter, okay? And then there's the pre-patch itself, which is kind of on the PTR and beta for testing right now. Enough to see what it's all about, at least. And obviously, there are some brilliant things coming in the War Within pre-patch. Dynamic flying on just about every flying mount in your collection. Warband stuff, including the Warband character select screen, probably, and the Warband bank, definitely. One of those things that definitely isn't ready yet. Every time I try and deposit anything into my Warband bank on beta, it breaks the game and my heart and my spirit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And of course, the pre-patch event, which is, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you guess? Just on vibes and your knowledge of the game and expansions past, why don't you take a little guess what the pre-patch event is? Did you guess? If you said a timed event that spawns in different parts of the old world, which involves killing spawning mobs and eventually a boss to collect a currency that lets you buy catch-up gear, and I think you probably did, then congratulations, you nailed it. That is exactly what the pre-patch event is. Make sure you're done with Pandaria Remix by then, because you do not want to be missing that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. At the moment, it's not completely inspiring, is it? Let's be honest. Okay, here's a roundup of other beta news from this last build, and there'll be no spoiler bots of any sort in this section. Do not worry, you are safe. Mounts. A reward for collecting skyriding glyphs has been discovered. Just like in Dragonflight, glyphs are dotted around the War Within zones for collecting, and just like Dragonflight, you get a whisper from your mount telling you that they sense when you are near one. Something that made perfect sense when your mount was guaranteed to be a dragon. Slightly less sense now it might be like a disc. Unlike in Dragonflight, you don't need to collect these glyphs to unlock abilities on your flying mount. These are just for fun, and getting them all will award you with the Swarmite Sky Hunter, which you'll love if your thing is that you love really ugly piece of shit mounts, which unironically, I know loads of you do, and so do I. There's also a new mount for completing the Glory of the Delver meta achievement, which involves, among others, beating all delves at level 8 and completely leveling up your companion, Bran. Do all that, you get the Ivory Goliathus, which you'll love if you love ugly piece of shit mounts, which we've already established. You do, you freak, I like you. And that's not the only mount connected to delves, of course. One of the main reward tracks for the gameplay mode, aside from the player power of the gear involved, is unlocking and customizing your delve airship mount. Wowhead has a great guide to all of the rewards and gameplay of delves, which we will link in the description of this video, along with other articles we think you might like that are about the things that we discussed in this video today. And speaking of delves! A Blue Dev post this week had some info on new changes to the solo, or sometimes not solo mode, saying they were fixing an issue where mobs respawn in the instances, which you really don't want them to do, trust me, as well as a substantial buff to the power of your follower, Bran Bronzebeard. And frankly, thank goodness, because, and look, I don't want to be mean, okay, because I know he doesn't have to come along, like he is doing us a solid and all that, but so far in alpha and beta, this dude has been Velen in the Mage Tower levels of useless, and it was getting a little bit embarrassing. So yeah, good change. Thumbs up. Also, clarification, there will be no testing on the secret 13th delve, which we know is going to be a boss fight, which I've heard described in interviews as being very challenging. I don't think we're talking Mage Tower levels of challenge here, and even if it is, you can go in with 4 friends. Don't forget, delves don't have to be a solo challenge, but it does certainly sound intriguing. And lastly today, John Hight, head of franchise for World of Warcraft, announced that he is leaving the company after 12 years. I always had a lot of time for John, and not just because he was so fun to do impressions of in weekly reset intros.
Hi. You know, we all love WoW. And you'll all love John Hight telling you about the new WoW expansion, Shadowlands.
But also, he was really fun to do impressions of. He just always seemed like a really chill guy. Most devs I know have said he's great to work for, and I thought he and Holly made a really great combo in the upper echelons of Team 2 management, which has a lot to do with the really good feeling around the game right now. We've met him a couple of times, and he was always really kind and generous with his time, and really interested to hear feedback on what the game could be doing better. He just seemed really cool. I think any team would be a poorer place without him. So thank you, John, and good luck. That pretty much wraps this up for this episode. I think the Mythic Plus changes deserve their own separate video in some form, so thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real-life money to make all of our work happen. And guys, seriously, thank you, because without you, there would be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evitel. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is John Hight, obviously. Look, you can't be angry with that face, can you? You can't. We are well and truly back from our holiday now and into the War Within grind, so expect a few more regular videos from us on here. The podcast will be back this week as well, and don't forget, you can catch interesting conversations from our stream on Taliesin and Evitel's second channel here on YouTube too. But until next time, from me, Taliesin and Evitel too, cheerio.